Hi, welcome to the Coffee Chat Show here on Buzzing Pattaya, the show where we talk about things that are happening right here, right now, as well as general news, tips, information and advice. Now, yes, I did survive. It was quite touch and go at sometimes, but I did survive our first interview with Bazza. If you haven't seen it, go back and check it out. You know, if you need a pick-me-up, if you want something to laugh about, listen to this man's stories. They are absolutely brilliant. All right, so welcome back, buddy.
Nice to meet you.
Now, come on, we promised the second half we were going to try and keep it together.
Okay.
All right, so now, in the first half, we talked about hotels that you've trashed. We've talked about you staying... I knew he'd... He's unbelievable, isn't he? Come on, stop it. See, how can you possibly take this man seriously? All right, so we talked about... How old are you?
I had a dodgy curry last night.
Right, can we do this now? All right, see, this is Bazza all over. You know what? When he used to be in the Go-Go Bars, this was your evening. Right, are we good? All right. So we talked about your history back in the day and standing dressed as a flower pot on stage in front of thousands of people, gate crashing, shaking Stevens butt naked, and putting the poor bloke into a complete state of shock.
Probably killed his career.
I mean, in terms of like things like that, I mean, how did your manager cope? He must have had phone call after phone call. I mean, without naming like specific hotels, what's the biggest trashing you've done in a hotel as a pop group like you were?
Oh, we were signed to London Records, and they had bands like the Stones and God knows what over the years of touring, and they had a contract with this certain hotel chain. And I think it was our 91 tour. And to give an example, when we finished the shows and everything, we usually go to a club, and after that, people would come back to the hotels. Sort of, I'd invite probably half the town to come back.
Okay.
I remember this certain hotel.
Before you carry on, how many were you actually allowed to invite?
None.
Oh. Okay, go on. So
every bus is turning up.
Okay.
And there was this hotel in Dudley, near Wolves. And we got back to the hotel. The rest of the band had fucked off the bed. I think 20, 25 of us. So I've sent them all into the restaurant area. It was shut down. Run upstairs, I grabbed about 8 or 10 sheets. So we built this big harem. We jumped behind the bar anyway and took out the booze, but we found this big metal ice bucket. Oh, here we go. In the middle of the floor, round by a harem. We're going to have a fire. So we've got all this rubbish in there. So we've got this big fire going in the middle of the restaurant. There were about 25 of us doing that Indian war dance.
and did they have to call the fire brigade?
No, they come with a fire extinguisher. Most of them got thrown out, but then I was still awake. So got back to my room. I used to share my room with Liam. And you got the phones next to the bed. Oh, just 404. Let's see if that's the room. Hello? Hello? Oh. Carried on things from there, but after a while, the destruction, what we caused, the record company got a letter from this hotel group going on about how they've worked with them for 45 years and they've never had trouble with them, with the likes of Keith Moon and the Stones. They're all well behaved with us lot. They have never seen so much destruction and like mayhem and people turning up in the restaurants in the morning, bollock naked, smoking joints. And going back to the hotel in Dudley, what done it was when the other lot left, they tried to break in and nick the manager's car. His steering wheel gone.
All right, well, we'll leave that
I'll
there.
tell you about this one in Glasgow, though. That tour, we've been having water fights.
Right.
We've already got thrown at a couple of hotels, and as we booked into another one just outside Glasgow, our tour manager, McQuaid, Terry McQuaid, he seen me come running along with the actual fire hose. And he's trying to shut the door, but as he shut the door, the hose has got stuck in it. And it's gone off full blast for about 5 minutes. The hotel manager's come walking up the stairs. He said, I've got water coming through my ceiling into my reception. His room was on the first floor. As I walked downstairs, his room was above the reception. I thought it could only be a little bit of dripping water. It was something like 40 towels. It was fucking pissing through. All I could do was fall about laughing.
So when you finally parted company with your manager, I mean, was he okay about that?
No, he ended up getting sectioned a few years later. He lived about 5 minutes walk from the old Ivory Stadium. He was seen outside the ticket office 5 o'clock in the morning, bollock naked.
See, you had an effect on me with all this taking your clothes off. Like, clearly, it had an effect on him.
Yeah, it's ruined him for life. I think he's in Rampton now.
All right, well, let's move now to the modern day and keep your clothes on. So, obviously, you've come from such an incredible and very lively young time of your life to now a slightly less lively young time in your life.
Yeah.
I mean, when you came to Pattaya, I mean, what did you do? What was your first place you worked in? Because you've been in so many bars here. Where was the first place you worked in?
It was Dream Club Agogo, Soy Diamond, which used to be the old carousel bar, where they had the old moving stage inside. And that was for a mate, what I called in a favour. That was 2 years that lasted before we come in one night. I opened up the Jack and Jill to get the float out. There was 11 baht in there. So I rang up the owner and said, look, James, there's 11 baht in the Jack and Jill. Well, it's up to me to do it. I said, well, your hours 6 to 7 weeks salaries as well. He said, I'll be in later to pay your staff. So, 11:15, nothing. So we shut down the club. I rang him up. I said, James, all the staff's coming around my house tomorrow, meeting 5 o'clock. He said, I've chained the club up. No one's getting any money, and just fucked off.
Wow.
So from there, we had the two mama sons, Tong and Notto, and a shitload of girls, and we were going round to a few of the clubs saying, this is the herd, you want us or not? And in the end, Sammy from Wildcats took us on. He took the whole team on.
Was that the Wildcats was upstairs?
No, I saw a BJ, which has now been knocked down and it's part of Pin-Up.
Oh, yeah.
Or has it been knocked down, or did they take the building? Well, we was there.
Oh, D Club and Wildcats were the two, when they D Club was the one upstairs.
Yeah, that was D Club. Yeah, the old Tiger bar,
That's
wasn't
it,
it?
yeah.
Tiger. And from there, I think I was there for 3 years. And I got a little bit pissed off with the owner. He was off his nut. He'd call you in to the toilet. It smells in it. Yeah, it's a fucking toilet. People coming in and have a dump. Of course it's going to smell. It'd drive you mental. And then I met a guy, Jürgen, Austrian, who just took over the old Viper bar down at Pattaya.
Yeah.
And I was getting fed up there. He said, do you want to come and work? Oh, I thought I'd give it a go. 2 months. He had no licence, nothing. The place got raided, got a 5-year closure, and I sort of slipped out.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And by then, I had 4 offers of other jobs. And one of them was Mistys.
Yeah.
And the only reason I took that was the money and guaranteed work permit. The first night I walked through those doors, I thought, fuck me, what have I done here? I've sat down and, let's just say, some of the, well, not some of them, about 80% of the ladies in there, we look better than them.
Okay.
Scared the life out of me. And Tim, he'd been there for 16 years, he was slowly moving on, and I had to sort of sit there for 4 weeks before he left, see how he worked, and he told me what to do at this system and that system, and when he went, I just fucking threw it out the window and don't my way, because it just weren't working, and took me a while to stamp my own feet on it, because I was told, he's been there for 8 years, she's been there, mama's our thing, and knew what was going on straight away. Was if you're going to become a manager on a go-go, you've got to sit and look and learn at every little manoeuvre they're going to pull. And you've got to be on top of them 24/7 because they'll rinse you.
But you created such a fantastic club. I mean, Mistys, I've got to be honest, and I'm not just saying it because I'm sat with you. I mean, I'd done the photography in there for years. I used to love it. You know, when my gig was with you and you're like, tomorrow night I'm at Mistys, it was just brilliant. The girls were so fun. They were never, oh, no. You know, you had a brilliant rapport with all the girls. You know, it was just such a pleasure.
I wanted to bring my own character out into the staff. And after a while, they said, you're fucking mad. I said, I know, but so are you now. And it worked. A little bit off key sometimes. My favourite thing was putting on the shows and all the decor and everything.
Yeah.
And I had a little eye for some of the girls, like not giving it all that. So I bought those Nerf guns. The first one I bought the first night, I thought I'd give it a go. Bang, took Mod's eye out nearly. I thought, that's too powerful. So what do you do that for? I said, but you're not dancing.
You just shot her.
Yeah, bang, right in the eye. First shot, I thought, oh, God, here we go. Second that I bought weren't powerful enough. So then I bought these multi-revolving ones. And then it really kicked off. I had about 15 of these Nerf guns. And all of a sudden, the girls would grab hold of them. Customers, it was like the OK Corral. Bang, 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 bang. Oh, sorry, I'll get you another drink for that.
Any of you guys watching, if you remember these days, and in fact, if you were one of them that he got shot, drop a comment below. Have you been shot by one of these girls in Mistys?
Oh, and one of these online shopping sites. I'm looking at one day, you can actually buy what's called movie money.
Oh, right,
Copy money.
Yeah.
$10,000 in $100 bills for 79 baht.
Oh, wow.
So I ordered about 4 million bahts worth. And my mates come over to see us, and I've called the mum and I said, Tom, come here. Get on the microphone. My mate, he's a multi-millionaire. He's going to throw about 3 million baht in 100 bills down from the ceiling. He said, get the staff, the girls, get everyone. He's gone up there, and they were going garrity. Throwing all these snide $100 bills down, they're pulling each other's hairs, and they're almost killing each other to get it. And all the girls having photos done. I've got a smudge with one of them later, and I couldn't stop laughing. And the only person I told in there was Big, the captain.
Yeah.
I said, Big, don't make a grab for those money because they're snide. Look, it's got on a little corner bit, Bank of China.
How did you deal with that? They must have gone mental at you when they realised.
Oh, they're used to it. There's a lot worse what's gone on.
I remember you when you used to dress them up in their jungle outfits and all those things that you got up to. It was just hilarious. I remember walking into the jungle one and I looked around with the cameras. I'm thinking, oh no, like what are we doing tonight? You know, I mean, you've obviously been in this industry for a long time. Never thought about having your own gaff?
Yeah, if I had the money to. Yeah, if I had the money to, but this has been a big kick in the bollocks, is COVID. I ain't nothing for a year now, so what savings I did have are slowly dwindling, but me and a few pals were about to buy Mistys when COVID kicked in, and my mate said, fuck that, I ain't buying that while this is on. We didn't have a clue how much it was going to go along for, and it's got turned into a year. Now, as far as I know, through Andy, Mistys has a possibility of opening.
Okay.
With investors. It's a great place to invest. If anyone wants to come in and invest in the place, then the place will carry on.
But wasn't there going to be an Indian guy take on the top the floor above?
I've lost count how many people wanted to take that top floor on.
Yeah, I remember last time when we were together.
We've had, that's right, a geezer at some Bollywood.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I remember that.
We've had him. I've lost count how many people Andy's brought in to do this and do that.
I mean, where the club's shut now, I mean, have you still kept in touch with the girls?
Yeah, they're always ringing me up, saying, look, Baz, when you're opening, where you're opening, don't matter where you do or what you do, and we're following you. So,
and wasn't Tong? I remember Tong. Tong was the lady boy, wasn't she? Was that?
No,
Tong?
it's Notto.
Oh, that's Notto, isn't it? Yeah.
Notto and Tong, they worked for me at very first place, going back, 13 at Dream Club. Then they come to Wildcats and Mistys,
Yeah.
and great team. The girls are great. They used to everything, like from having snakes and frogs dropped on while they're dancing, and chickens and
And the worst of it,
cakes what I make has killed them all, knocked them.
and the thing is, you're not joking either. You really used to do terrify them, didn't you? I mean, I'm still friends with quite a few of the girls there where we did the photos, and they'd say, "Oh, can you send my photos?" And there's a few of them now are living abroad, etc., etc. But yeah, I mean, they used to say, "Oh, he's crazy." I said, "I know."
I used to like them. If the girls were due a cut, and I'm saying, "Oh, so and so's got to have a cut, £100," I'd call them over. Do you have a choice? You get £100 cut for the mum or son, or you drink one of my cocktails. The choice is yours. Oh, I'll have a cocktail. Worst mistake. A big bucket like that used to come out with everything in it. Wish I took £100 cut now.
Did the girls ever get one back on you? Did they ever trick you out?
Oh, loads of times.
What's the worst thing they've done to you? And please keep it as clean as you possibly can.
It wasn't really that bad, but it was fucking freezing. The last song Grammy was open, they got a little rubber ring on the stage and everything, and it was just constant. Freezing cold water, bucket upon bucket, not just a little bit extra. We had the what's that resting called? MRA or something?
The resting?
Yeah, there's the Octagon thing, the stage. Is it MRA boxing or martial arts thing?
Where?
Well, we built a stage in the club. For
MMA?
That's your MMA. Fucking MRA. That's an injection jab in it, yeah.
I think you got MRSA or whatever it is. That's a cow's disease, isn't it, or something?
It was a quiet night. Well, the last year was quite quiet in there. To keep the girls occupied, because all of a sudden we built a MMA thing. And having the girls having little tear-ups. And all of a sudden, they've got me and beat the fuck out of me.
Well, you did deserve it, let's be honest.
Probably, yeah, a lot worse. The cashier, I used to leave her a bag up in the safe each night. I used to give it to her, and she hates anything, so we put a couple of rats in the bag. So when she's gone down to open up the bag to get the cash out, these rats have jumped up at her.
You are out of order.
Yeah.
You really are out of order. I mean,
Oh,
go on.
I mean, little Bill, little tomboy.
Yeah.
Up in the office one day, making some jellies. We won't say what was in them, but telling the mum and she sees food, she'll eat it no matter what. She's come up, oh, they look nice. She said 2. No more. She grabbed one more. I said, I couldn't keep a straight face. But as she slipped out the office, she's grabbed a tray of them.
Oh.
40 minutes later, come downstairs. She's running about like a loony. Security are just like,
I should give it to them as well.
3 of the girls had to fuck off home. Just say no more.
Oh no. I mean, in terms of like the bar scene, obviously it's a great environment, especially you're home from home, really, aren't you? It's just,
you got to enjoy entertaining people, and you got to enjoy your job.
A question I get asked a lot, and I'd like to ask this question because it's quite a serious question, but it is: what's it really like to run a bar? What's it really like to run a go-go? Because everyone sees your side of it, as in like you're surrounded by beautiful girls, etc., etc. But what's it really like?
A fucking nightmare.
For what reason? What's the biggest thing you hate most about running in a go-go bar?
It's trying to keep the peace with the girls. Once they have a little tear up with each other, and you've got 2 good girls that work for you, you can't keep a steady ship all the time, because not everyone's going to get on with everyone. But I found a knack of sort of pacifying a few of them, and that was the hardest thing. It's keeping everybody on board, all the same, no special favours for them or swings and roundabouts.
Okay.
Like you had to be a little bit soft sometimes, but not too soft, so they would take the piss out of you. If they took the piss out of you, then there was only one way for them to go. I remember the girl, when I first started Mistys, about 18 months into it, she was the best money earner but she thought she was a dog's bollocks. And a little altercation one night, and I said to her that, fuck it. You can come in tomorrow and get your salary. Something I said, no bollocks, you can go now. And because if you bowed down to her, the other would say, oh look, scared of her. So you have to be firm, but fair. But sometimes you've just got to kick them straight in the arse and get them out. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the hardest thing I'd say. And but I would say 80% of running a go-go bar is behind the scenes. Because with me, I would be doing a whole lot, from the uniforms to the design of the clubs, what themes to you name it, a lot. And having a little meeting once a week with some of the girls, and then the mamas and the full staff every 2 weeks, and putting some ideas down. Because what I found, which is a big problem, I might have a great idea, and no matter how shit it is, the mums and the girls, that's great, that's a good idea, until you come and it's a time to produce these uniforms or something, and I don't know, good, well, why didn't you tell me that from the beginning?
Yeah.
So I found one of the girls, Gal, had been there for years, so if I had anything what I thought was a good idea, I said to her, look, Gal, if my idea is shit and it's a waste of time, just tell me. I said, because I need to know, because most of the times I would agree with you no matter what. So it took me a time to adjust to their ways, but it's getting to understand and tell you that if it's a shit idea, it's no good to tell you, because years went by, and I learned from that. And another thing I've learned, what was a big thing, some of the girls will come in and ask for a job, and they'll be fully clothed. Oh, they don't look too bad, until they come down in a bikini. You think, oh, what the fuck have I done here? Who told you to bring your grandma in for a job? Get her out. And sometimes you just got to be honest with the girls. I had them come up in the office, and I say, the first thing I want to say, can you show me your derby? Because I don't want to see some fat bird with train tracks down her. She's got a nice flat stomach, which is okay, but sometimes I have to be honest with them. I say to them, look, do you really want a job in here? Look at the size of you. You're fat and you're ugly. It's not fair to you. Sometimes you've got to be honest.
He said that, not me.
Yeah, I'm not being straight.
Yeah.
Because I don't want the girl to feel like, oh, look at her, look, her tits and mine are hitting the floor and this lot. And
Mine hit the floor, there's nothing wrong with that.
yeah, I'll sweep the floor with my bollocks.
I mean,
I'm good at housework, polishing floors.
I mean, if you weren't in the bar game, what would you do?
What, here?
Yeah, if let's just say that, for instance, let's just say that all the go-go bars, all the bars shut,
Yeah.
and they were never going to reopen here, what would you do?
That's a good one. I'll open up a gay club.
Open up a gay club?
Yeah. You mentioned if none of the girls and clubs are here.
Yeah, that's true, all right. Why a gay club?
Be a smother.
We're going to move on from this one. We're not going down that road for sure. All right, so I want to just wrap up, because it's been brilliant as it is. I mean, it's been fantastic. I just want to ask you, and I ask everybody the same question, and it's a good question, because I think it's important we all understand how all of us feel. You're right in the heart of this. You're right in the heat of all the go-go bars, the nightlife, walking street speculation. It's going to shut, it's going to open, blah, blah, blah. All this thing that's being thrown around. What do you honestly think the future of the nightlife scene is here in Pattaya? Will it bounce back? Will it be calmed down? What do you think?
It will bounce back, but I think it'll bounce back in a good way, because in my eyes there's too many bars and clubs here. If we could lose 50% of them, okay, it's not good for a lot of people, but if we could lose 50% of them, what would be left? There'd be a shitload of girls in the clubs and the bars, and most clubs and bars would be full then. It seems like there's too many bars and clubs for the volume of traffic here. It has got crazy here at the moment with bars, but I think if there was a lot less bars, and this might have done everyone a favour, and I think the biggest favour it would have done is a resetting of the girls' salaries.
Right.
That's a big pain in the arse. That was just before we closed down. There was a few of the clubs down Walking Street. We all had meetings and decided what we'll do this set salary and blah, blah, blah. And hopefully that same sort of strategy could carry on when we get back to normal.
I got you. I got you.
There'll always be a patio in what form or another. Maybe a lot less bars and clubs. I think that'd be a better.
No, that's a fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, well, there you go. You've heard it from the man himself. Bazza, I want to say thank you, mate. It's been brilliant.
Yeah.
It's been absolutely brilliant. And I hope that, in a few more months' time, we'll come back and we'll have another crack, mate, because I know that you guys watching this will no doubt love what Bazza's been telling. And he's got 1,000,001 stories. We've only heard a top a little scratch of the ice in here. We really have got so much to go.
Got the portrait to hear about as well.
All right, well, we'll leave that definitely for the next one. All right, guys, so that's it from us here today on Buzzing Patty on the Coffee Chat Show. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember, hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when we bring out another video. And once again, Baz, thank you so
pleasure,
much.
Trev.
Thank you much.
Pleasure.
Guys, please drop a comment below. Let us know what you thought of our man Baz. And when he is out there and he is in the bars and doing his thing, I'll be sure to let everybody know and go in and say hello to this man. He's an absolute legend. He's been a friend of mine for many years and he's a top guy. All right, that's it from us, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Please, wherever you are in the world, stay safe.
Ciao.